Hey YouTube, it's Faye, and for today's video, I was gonna give you a little update on what I've been doing on the Supra. Realize I have not given you an update in a while, and I'm getting a lot of messages asking if I've given up on the project. And no, I just feel like this is a channel full of tutorials, not necessarily like storytelling. So while I have gotten a lot done, no single project has actually reached completion. So like nothing is worthy of a story of start to finish just yet. But one thing that I've been working on right now is getting the intercooler to fit. This is clearly not stock. So I'll take you along for the journey of just like making these brackets and figuring out where I'm gonna put it, what modifications I had to make in order to get it to fit. Just a quick little video for you guys today, and that's pretty much it. Aside from that, I've been working on the fuel system. I got that all sorted, but have taken everything back apart to get certain parts powder coated. Also been working on the interior. I got a new carpet in there. I did a whole bunch of rust repair, and yeah, getting ready to paint some of the interior, but waiting for the final cherry on top. I custom ordered some sick seats, and so I don't want to show you everything until it's like done. So thank you for your patience, and I'm sorry for kind of like disappearing sometimes. So anyway, let's just let's get right to it, and let me show you what I've been doing with the intercooler. Look how freaking sick and massive this thing is. Oh my gosh. I'm sure you want one too, so we'll link it in the description below. This is the 4-inch from Thrift Motion. Pretty much a perfect fit right there. I wanted to get it up as high as I possibly could because I do not want it scraping on the ground. My car sits very low, and when it is fully down on the ground, those little tow hooks sit only a couple inches off the ground. So the higher up I could put the intercooler, the better for me. Also, by raising it up, I can take advantage of the little part of the grill that's open here, so get a little bit more airflow. Speaking of airflow, you can see this hole that is cut in the bumper for my turbo A duct. And I am so excited about this because I've been wanting to install this turbo A duct for 8 years. And I know it's been 8 years because Brandon got me the turbo A duct for the first birthday that I ever had when we were dating. So yeah, it's been a hot minute. I was 29 years old, and now I'm 37, or turning 37, and I still have not installed the darn thing, so I'm really looking forward to doing that. Also, I also installed these adorable truck lights that Brandon also got me for my birthday in 2016. So when I had sort of long given up on the project, Brandon knew that I was eventually gonna pick it back up, and I always wanted those lights, so I cannot wait to see those in action. All right, so more about the intercooler. So this thing only comes with a couple of mounting holes on it though. We've got this one over here, this one over here, so that's 2 on the top. And then of course, depending on how you mount it, that could be the top or the bottom, so then there's also 2 underneath. But those top mounting points just weren't working out with what I wanted to fit in there and where I wanted to put everything. So I decided to make some brackets on the side, and I'm gonna show you where they're gonna sit. So let's take a closer look at these little brackets that I made. And this is just out of some aluminum that I got at Home Depot. And you can see it's sitting up a little bit on this side because when I bolt it down, so I'm gonna be drilling holes right here for it to go through. That hole, which uses these massive bolts to hold on the bumper. And if these are enough to hold on the bumper, it's clearly enough to hold on the intercooler. That's my thought at least. So when that bracket goes flush, you can see that the intercooler is gonna sit at a little bit of an angle right there. So I've also got some interference, you can see. I'm not using this little bolt hole anymore, so I will be chopping this back and of course respraying it for any exposed metal that I have there, so that I'll actually be able to get the hose on there. And really exciting, this is all painted beautifully, and I'm gonna be drilling a hole through there for my charge pipe to come down and through. But that's all right, this is behind the bumper and no one's gonna see it. You can see Danny's tack here, and he did the same on the other side. And that's because even though I measured really carefully, I spent a lot of time making those brackets and making sure that they were, you know, perfect. Still, I don't have the car there, and sometimes when you weld, things can distort, even though Danny obviously did not put a lot of heat on those tiny little tacks, but I wanted to be able to test fit it one more time before he welded massive beads all the way around it and completed it, because at this point, I can still bend those brackets around, or if it's totally off, I can grind just the tiny little spot weld off and redo it. But yeah, thankfully it is so awesome. I am totally stoked. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut underneath the frame rails on the car, those little tabs off, so that I'll be able to get those pipes on. And then I'm also gonna do a little trimming of the front of the bumper, just shave off that little lip where it looks like it was sort of pinched together, just so that in the case of anything moving around or maybe getting into a little bit of a fender bender, which I hope does not happen, the bumper does not go into the intercooler and destroy it. Also, in order to accommodate the intercooler, I had to trim this front support piece quite a bit. And this is important to keep because it does hold the hood latch properly in place. And you can see a lot of trimming happened. And that's gonna go down and sit like so. And just for reference, let me show you what the other one on the other car looks like. Here's the factory one. So yeah, all of this is gone. And there's the adorable, out in there, factory intercooler. So tiny! Oh no! My battery died. Don't buy the cheap ones, buy the actual real Canon ones. Alright, so you can see I just cleaned this off with my little whizzy wheel tool, which Rick tells me no one uses the 2-inch. Who knew? I'm actually gonna grind this down a little bit more, a little flatter, but with a different tool that I don't have here that I have at home. And then, because this is now like, you can see that there is some play here, I'm gonna go ahead and actually weld these two pieces together, but that way it's just gonna be a lot flatter and it's not gonna hit the intercooler and give me a little bit more space. So, yeah.
Look at that. What gap?
Oh, no gap.
No gap.
Oh.
Since we're getting rid of gaps,
Yeah.
let's get that.
That's
right
a big
there.
one.
That's a big one, but we can do it.
Heck yeah.
Right, so-
Oh, we got a big rod.
Yeah, and I'm still, you can see the difference in there.
Oh yeah.
See, so I'm gonna use this one as a filler rod, and then still gonna go ahead and TIG weld here. But I'm gonna let this fill my gap.
Oh, okay.
Just so we don't have to just keep on, like the other side, I just forced stuff in, because we made it work.
Yeah.
but here we're gonna just do that. I think that'll be good.
All right.
Gapless.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What is that?
My eBay find. Actually, there's a lot of industrial people that sell stuff on eBay.
Yes.
So this is, I needed a gasket for the dyno, for the top water seal.
Oh.
We'll try to figure out an industrial gasket. So $14 and just get a whole roll. And they make different ones. They make an orange one is good for 1400 degrees. They make different thicknesses. It is sweet. So I just bought, I said, you know what? I'm just gonna get enough to make sure that if I needed it. And then all I needed was a gasket. We have plenty of this if you need some.
Well,
it's neat.
maybe
kinda
I
like
just
it.
need this little
You just
piece
cut
that's a little
section.
extra.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Oh my gosh, look at that's gonna be the perfect little padding so that it doesn't hurt the paint. All right, 48 hours since the last time that I filmed, and I've probably spent at least that much time just trying to get this intercooler to actually fit. No, just kidding, but I probably did at least 24 in and outs, which is why I have the cardboard on top of it, because I just didn't want the fins to get damaged. So finally though, it's sitting exactly where I wanted it to. There was some casualties. I did lose a little bit of paint underneath when I just reshaped those little tabs. I decided not to cut them off, but just bend them. And what I decided was there's already some lack of paint going on underneath. I'm already gonna be doing some Herculiner. I actually started some Herculiner on that side of the car. I'm gonna do some on this side of the car. And there's already some missing paint underneath here. So I figured I'm just gonna make it look like I meant to do that. Spray a little bit of primer underneath and then actually put the Herculiner all underneath the bottom, and you know, it'll be good. It'll prevent rock chips anyway. So it was all intentional, people, all intentional. And I did get the bumper to fit in here after reshaping these little holes. You can see that I definitely made some little marks there as well, but I want to take the bumper off so that I could actually show you guys, and then you can see everything in its final spot. However, this is not the final installation. This is the penultimate. I think, is that what that word means? Like almost the last, like the next to the last install, because of course I'm gonna be pulling all of this back out so I can finish my painting and everything like that. But pretty stoked because, you know, I was a little worried these bolts are coming really close to where the hoses are gonna be, and then also the hoses, in order to put the intercooler up where I wanted it, were of course really close to the frame rail. But this thing is mounted in there solid. You know, there's no way that these little hoses are gonna hit these nuts. There's just not enough movement in there. There's like enough flex to make it, you know, like a good amount of flex where it's not rigid, where it's gonna break the welds, but it's like not too much to where it's gonna move. So, this job is done. So stay tuned, because today has actually been a super sick day full of notifications. I got notified that my parts are going into powder coating, so I'll be able to pick up my fuel rail, finish my fuel system video, and also install my intake manifold so you can see what that looks like finally when it's all installed in the proper color. I also got a notification that my seats shipped. Heck yeah, so I can finally show you all the work that I've been doing on the inside once I have, you know, a completed interior, something that's actually worth showing you start to finish. And then, oh, also, yes, I just had the adapter plates made. Had a local machinist make some sick adapter plates that will bolt the 7M crankshaft to the dyno so that I can actually tune the engine on the dyno. So, bunch of awesome things happened today. So I feel like for a while there was a little calm before the storm while I was able to work on a bunch of little miscellaneous projects. And now it's time to hop back into action, as if I have not been in action this entire time anyway. But thanks so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this little update video, and stay tuned because obviously there are a lot of things in the works. So thanks you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.
Where's your head?